Cyberpunk 2077, a generation in the making of love, passion, and hype trains all over the globe. And I'll be honest, I wasn't on them. I'm a huge CD Projekt Red fan, a huge Witcher 3 fan, and I'm a lover of the RPG genre. It's my favorite genre of game, but I could not get on board for whatever reason with Cyberpunk 2077 hype. But this puts me in a very unique position, family, because it allows me to give you guys my most wholeheartedly honest and unbiased opinions of Cyberpunk 2077 and embrace its world, its characters, its narrative, its mechanics, everything, specifically on next gen consoles. But with that said, if you like the video, like and subscribe to join me on this journey, and let's see if Cyberpunk 2077 is worth your time and your money. So of course, you can't talk about an open world game without getting into the world itself, so we'll start there. The world is absolutely beautiful. And while Night City is beautiful during the day, as the name implies, it's absolutely gorgeous at night. I have never walked into an open world, and I know you've heard this before, right? But I've never walked into an open world that was just so brimming with detail, love, and attention. Every light, every shade, every lamppost, every garbage can, everything is so lovingly and specifically tailor made to make this city real. And I just can't explain it. It's an absolute joy to walk through. The world itself sells itself, and you can see where all of the 8 years went into. But to be honest with you, it's not just the world that gives it its believability and sense of immersion. It's the way that mission structure is done. It's the way where you're walking by and this random guy has a penis implant problem. And it sells the sense of the cyberpunk nature of the world. It just gives itself that much more sense of immersion. Or I'm just walking by and these two cops call out to me, who I, by the way, could have absolutely ignored and walked by. But because I talked to them and I chose to undertake a side mission, this actually led me into a really cool side mission that took a couple in-game days to do. There's also the way here where you get a text message and you have to reply, by the way. Actually, go through your messages and reply. It's small, but it's cool. And you could even unlock more missions by doing this. But then there's more details, like the way that a cyberpunk child looks in this world, or the way that an elevator goes up so fast in a high class building. And I really mean, like, look at it. It shows you just how fast the elevator is rising. It's impressive, and it just helps to sell the world even more. Or the way that a holographic tree looks in a public resting area. Or even the way that a gentleman's club has a holographic dancer dancing outside just to advertise itself. Or in the way that when you talk to a thug and when he wants to reach out to his boss, his eyes turn yellow, literally turn yellow, to let you know that he's communicating via his cyber tech brain stuff. I don't know. Or when I'm just chilling in an elevator and I can watch the news and watch a character who I just met address the public about an event that just happened involving me. It's cool and it's immersive. But then there are things that aren't so immersive, like the following: a girl who can't decide if she wants to hurt me or not.
You want your teeth broken? Please, have mercy on me.
Or when I'm in the middle of a conversation and I get a phone call, and then two conversations are happening at once. It just pulls you out of the moment.
It is important.
I don't get your
What's
optimism.
I may
Still
have
sounds
found
like a big
solution
fat
to
nothing to me.
the problem we share.
Or here when she asks for help,
Do something, B. Fucking dying over here.
but she's fine. Or right here when you smash a mirror and you can hear it, but you don't see it happen. Just, again, pulls you out. Even V wants to cry. I feel you, man. And of course you have the physics. I mean, I don't know what to say about that one. Or here when I went to find my car, who clearly doesn't want anything to do with me. It's clear that there's so many things that could have been done better, and there's a lot of, for as many good things as there are, there's things that pull you out of the experience. But let's get into the nitty and gritty of the combat. It's great. I had no faith, I'll be honest. I had absolutely no faith in the strength of and the level of the combat that would be in the game, but every gun feels amazing. Whether I'm using an assault rifle or a shotgun or a charged precision rifle, every gun feels good in your hands, and again helps to sell this universe that they've created. I can't explain how happy I am with the gunplay. I think it's solid, it's tight, it feels good, and they just did a fantastic job. So for CD Projekt Red, with as many issues as this game does have and bugs that it has, the core combat is solid, and I think you have to give credit where credit is due. They got the world and they got the combat down overall. But now let's get into what this game really is, and it's an RPG. And in the RPG front, it needs help. And let me explain what I mean by that. So you have 5 different attributes in the game representing 5 different styles of play. You have body, reflexes, technical ability, intelligence, and cool. You'll be using the attribute points and the perk points in the top left. So by upgrading the cool attribute, which is the stealth way to play, which is how I prefer to play, yeah, you'll get your basic increased damage to create resistances, stealth, and speed, stuff like that. But really what you're doing is you're broadening the horizons for what you can use your perk points on. For example, the commando ability needs 14 attribute points, and I only have 10. Once I get 14, I can use a perk point to get that attribute. Now here's what I mean with the issues with the game. I couldn't one-shot headshot anyone with a pistol to play stealthy. Now what feels good is that I ended up going to reflexes and finding the handgun tree, basically, and upgrading some headshot damage. Eventually, by finding the right trees, which was a little weird at first because I had to go to both reflexes and cool, I can one-shot enemies, right? So let's see how it turned out. It worked, and it felt so good that it worked. Except you'll see that it doesn't work on the heavier enemies. You need to do stealthy things in order to continue to upgrade stealth. And when I can't do stealthy things because the RPG system itself is fighting with me and my style of play, it just pulls you out of that RPG experience. My final gripe with the game, or for any RPG that's missing this in 2020, is that there's no transmog system in place. I mean, I have to forsake how I look for a higher armor value. I mean, come on, man. I'm walking through the streets like this? That ain't right, man. I don't care what nobody says. That shit ain't right. What is right, however, is the experience that the game gives you as a whole. Is it a 10 out of 10 game? As somebody who came in not wearing his hype shades to blind him from the light of its problems? No, not at all. But it's fantastic. And it adds a level of innovation in world design not seen in a long time, and never to this degree. If you have a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or a high-end PC, and you have a high threshold for bugs, I say it'd be worth your time. However, it should be said, I've had 17 crashes on my PlayStation 5 in 30 hours of play, and I'm actually considering not playing for a while until they fix it, because I don't want nothing to happen to my console, so, you know, you've been warned. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. These are my thoughts and impressions on Cyberpunk 2077. If you liked the video, like, and if you want, find your inner lion, subscribe, and join the pride. This has been Lion's Crown, and don't you ever forget, you're a gamer, but you're a person, and you matter. Wear your crown, and live your roar. I'll see y'all later.